This problem involves finding the largest connected component in an undirected graph. So it is one of the harder problems, and it has been asked in Google. So here we have to build a graph, and we are given some numbers, and that edges are based on the common factors among different numbers. So we will be given a bunch of different numbers, positive integers, let's say 10, 15 and 21. Then we see that if two numbers have some common factor, then there is an edge between them. So between 10 and 15, 5 is a common factor, so 10 and 15 are connected. Similarly, between 15 and 21, 3 is a common factor, so it's also connected. Now let's say we have 47 also. Then this is not common to anything else, and 1 should not be the common factor. So we are talking about common factors more than 1. So in this case, this will have a component with 3 nodes and another one with just 1 node. So we will return 3. So here the challenge is that if you do it like this way, that is, you first build the graph and then you do some DFS or any other traversal, BFS or DFS, anything will work, and then keep track of the count and return the maximum. So that solution should work provided the number of nodes are very less, or the number of numbers, these elements are less. But here we are given that we can have up to 20,000 numbers. So in the worst case, if we have some number close to 20,000 elements in this input, then we may have to do it 20,000 square times. For example, if you are comparing whether this number and this number has common factors or not, you have to check with everything else. And similarly for this one, so n multiplied by n minus 1 by 2, that is n square computation should be done in building the graph itself, and that may exceed the time limit, so that will not work. So here we will use another approach that will be based on union find algorithm or disjoint sets. So here what we are interested in, so each node should be present in some group, and we are interested in, so group denotes the connected components. So let's first see it using the graph method, graph traversal method, then we will come to disjoint set structure. So 20 and 50, so let's draw this 20. Is 20 and 50, do they have a common factor? Yes, 10 is common, even 2 is common. So 20 and 50 are connected. Now 20 and 9 does not have any common factor other than 1. Similarly with 20 and 63, so these are not connected, at least to 20. Next, 50 is connected to 20. Is 50 connected to anything else? No. Now is 9 connected to anything else? 63, they have a common factor of 3. So these are connected, but 63 is not connected to anything else. So in this case, this graph has 2 connected components. So you start DFS from here, mark it visited, or you can assign some number to it, like 1, 1 when you do first DFS. Then you have to start another DFS in order to visit other nodes, other connected components, or you can do BFS also, both are fine. And here we assign 2, 2. Now you see that count of 1 is 2, count of 2 is 2. So max is 2 only, both are equal. So you return 2. So this approach should work, but as I said, we have 20k elements can be there, and if you take the square, it will be 20 into 20 multiplied by 1000 into 1000. So 400 million operations just to check whether, just to build the graph. And for checking the common factor also, again you will have to do some work here. So we will not follow this approach. We are just interested in the group. For example, 20 and 50 belong to group 1. 9 and 63 belong to group 2. So if we can partition them into some groups, and those groups will be the connected components themselves, then we are happy with that. Finally, we have to just return what is the size of that group. So here its union find algorithm will come in handy. First, let's look at the union set data structure, or disjoint set, or union find data structure rather, and disjoint set. So this is a data structure which is used to partition a set into disjoint sets. And here the set is the set of all the elements or the nodes of the graph, and these partitions or these disjoint sets are the connected components. So all nodes within them belong to one connected component. You can reach from any node to any other node, but you cannot go from any of these nodes to any other partition. So this is the disjoint set here. So here we have union and find, as the name says, and union is the operation of merging two sets. So initially we start with all empty sets, and then based on their common factor, in this case we will, if they have a common factor, we will merge them. And while merging, either we will make this child of its parent or we will make this child of its parent. So this is the union operation. And then we have find. So it will return the parent. So it can be like this. So let's say this is parent P, this is x1, this is x2, this is x3, and we do find x2. So it will check its parent. If its parent is there, it will go there and continue until its parent is -1. Or if you want to assign it with the number itself, then this parent is equal to the number itself. So you reach to the top. So what is the top level parent? That is the representative of all of these. All of these groups is represented by its parent. So find basically does that. Return the representative of that group or the parent of that group. Now let's get back to our original example. That was 20, 50, 9 and 63. So we start listing all the factors of 20. So we will traverse the complete list. So its factors are 2, 4, 5 and 10. And you can also write 20. So these are the factors. So group them into one group. 2, 4, 5, 10, 20. These are belonging to one group. Why so? Because if we find any other number while iterating through this list, and there is some factor which is already present here, so that means 20 and that number will be connected. That is the definition of connection here in this example. So for example, here we had these disjoint sets, and there is another node which has a common factor to any of these four nodes. Then there is an S from that to that, and we will include it in the same partition, whatever is the representative of that partition. One of them will be the parent of entire thing, and that will represent that partition. So this is the first element, 20. So let's say 2 is the parent here. So 2 is here, 4, 5, 10, 20. The parent of each of them is 2 itself, and the parent of 2 is -1. So we will implement find in such a way that if its parent is -1, then return the number itself, else return find of parent of x. So continue until you reach the top, and then you return this number. So find for all of these numbers will return 2. Next we come to 50. Again we start from 2, and we check what is the find return from 2. So for 2 it's 2 itself, and for 50 it's 50 itself. They are in different sets. So we will do union of this. So what will happen? 2 and 50. So we will make 2 as the parent of 50. Now 50 has been included in this group. Next we have other factors. 3 is not there, 4 is not there, 5 is there, 5 is already there, 5, 10 and so on. You can list down. Then we have 9. So 2 is not there, 3. We check 3. Parent of 3 is 3. Parent of 9 is 9. So we make 3 as the parent of 9. Then we stop. The square root of 9 is this. Then last one is 63. So 3 is one of the factors. So we check find of 3 returns 3 and 63 returns 63. This is not equal. So we make 3 as the parent of 63. Then we have 4, 5, 6. 6 is not there. 7 is there. 7 and 63. So find of 63 returns 3. 3 is the parent of 63. And for 7, it's 7 itself. So they are not again equal. So we make this. So this is the union operation. Then we have 9. In fact, we stop here since the square root of 63 will be less than 8. So other one will be 9, which we have already added. And then 21. So this is done. So we have iterated this complete list and we have grouped them into separate partitions. Now we have to keep track of the count. So the count for this will be more. So it has, so again we iterate through this list, not these graphs, because it has many factors also. So we say that 20, the parent of 20 is 2. So 2, its count becomes 1. Next is 50. Parent of 50 is 2. So again 2 is already there. So its count becomes 2. Next 9. So its parent is 3. 3 key is not present. So we insert 3 and its count is 1. Then 63. Its parent is 3. So it's already present this key. So increase it. So it's 2. And we have iterated this list. And now the max among them is 2. So we can return 2 here. So this is the essence of this algorithm and how we can apply union find for this problem. So I had tried with the graph approach and I found that the time limit was exceeding. For the union find algorithm, the solution was accepted. So let's go through this. So what find does, so we give one x and its job is to return its parent. So it will simply go up the tree and when it reaches the top, its parent will be -1, so it will return the number itself. So for all of these, 3 will be returned. For all of these, 2 will be returned. So for that, we are keeping a parent vector here initialized to -1. So for the parent itself, the root node, the parent will be -1. So the find will return the number itself. Otherwise, it will recursively call. And why is it 1 extra than this here? Because the numbers here are from 1 to 100,000. And if we keep just this one, then here we need to call -1 each time. So wherever you are seeing parent, just call -1 and it should work. So that's why for simplicity we added 1 extra. So the last index will never be used. And that is the job of find, very simple. And the job of union is that check what is their parents. So for example, if we have to do the union of 21 and 9, we will see that parent of 21 is 3, parent of 9 is 3. So they are same, so we don't have to do anything. But let's say you are asked to do the union of 21 and 5, then you will see that parent of 5 is 2, parent of 21 is 3. So they are different. So you will either make 3 as the child of this or 2 as the child of this. So that's the job of union. First find the parents. If they are not same, then only make one of them as the child of other, otherwise do nothing. Then this is the main problem. Here we are iterating through this element list and we are taking all the factors. So we are going till the square root of x because the other factor we can get by dividing it with the other factor. And we are taking the union of factor and the number. So the number and all its factors are in the same group. And once we are done, we create a cache where we will store the unique parents, unique roots. So first time union is called for 20, we get 2. So for 2 is the first time we are inserting this key. And then 3 is another key. So this map will have just 2 keys in it. So again we are iterating and taking the find, and corresponding to that root we are incrementing the count. And we are also keeping track of max count so far. Max for any of the roots. So max in that partition, and that is what we are returning finally. Similarly, in Java, it's very similar, nothing much difference here, just math.sqrt, then hash map here. So it's the same code exactly, not much difference, similarly in Python. And finally, what is the time complexity here? So clearly you see this outer loop, and this is for number of elements, and it's done 2 times. So it's number of elements times there is some more functionality that we are doing within that. So n times so how many times, what is the time complexity of this inner loop? Till square root of x. So it will depend on x itself. So let's take the maximum of such x, which is max of ai, and square root of that. So this is the worst case time complexity. And space, we are keeping this parent array, which is 100,000. So that is the space complexity. This other unordered map or the cache, this dictionary will have just unique roots. So this will be less than this. So this is the space complexity and this is the time complexity.